Welcome to Parsha with Purpose, where each Parsha becomes a guide to living with meaning, serenity, and joy. In this week's Parsha, we meet Yaakov on one of the most vulnerable nights of his life. He's about to meet Esav, his brother who wanted, perhaps still wants, to kill him. He's done everything he can, split the camp, prepared gifts, davened with every fiber of his being. And then the Torah says, and Yaakov was left alone. It's night. He's on the banks of the river, and suddenly he's attacked. A mysterious man wrestles with him until dawn breaks. Chazal, our sages teach that this man was the guardian angel of Esav, the force of spiritual resistance, the Satan, the Yetzer Hara, the power that pushes against every step of growth. Why? Because Yaakov represents the human mission, to elevate ourselves, and through us, to elevate the world. And the Yetzer Hara exists to block that mission, to make the climb harder, to break our confidence, to convince us to stop trying. So Yaakov wrestles the entire night, and though he emerges limping, he's still standing. But here's the part that calls to me every time. When the angel finally speaks, he changes Yaakov's name. He says, "No longer will you be called Yaakov, but Yisrael, for you have striven." The Hebrew word for striven is sarisa, and Yisrael is derived from that, and you have overcome, vatuchal. And here is where the obvious question jumps out. If this were branding, if a company came to me and said, we struggled and our competitors gave us a thrashing, and eventually we created something amazing, I would name them after the success, the greatness of their product, the victory. But Hashem doesn't name us Tuchal, the one who triumphs, who overcomes. He names us Yisrael, the one who strives, who fights. The emphasis is not on the victory, it's on the struggle. Because we're not meant to win every battle, we're meant to keep showing up for them. We're named after the fight, not the finish line. Rav Hutner once wrote a letter to a student who felt discouraged by his failure. Every time he tried to be better or take something on, he fell again. And Rav Hutner wrote back, "It is a terrible mistake that when we tell the stories of our great people, we speak only of their perfection and not of their inner battles." We read biographies. From the time she was born, she never spoke Lashon Hara. She would wake up at 3:30 every morning to say Tehillim. She would eat one square of chocolate and say, "I've had enough." But Rav Hutner says, that's not their story. That's the ending. But who speaks about the wars that they fought to get there, the downfalls, the slips, the battles, the Yetzer Hara's pushback? That is why we are B'nai Yisrael, not B'nai victory, not B'nai winner, not B'nai perfect. We are the children of the one who fought, who wrestled, who limped and kept walking. So every time you push through emotional exhaustion, every time you show up for davening when your mind is scattered, every time you try again with your patience, your kindness, your midas, even after you fell the day before, is what it means to be B'nai Yisrael. You don't have to win every battle. You just have to keep showing up for the fight. Because it's not your victory that defines you. It's your courage to keep fighting. Good Shabbos.